You are lying here now, perhaps in the dark, perhaps with your eyes already closed, or only half closed. Your body knows this moment well. It recognizes the weight of the day that has finally settled into your muscles, the quiet heaviness in your shoulders, the slow sinking feeling in your back, your legs, your hands. Your body is tired. It has carried you through hours of movement, decisions, sounds, light, and effort. And now, at last, it has arrived at rest. But your mind has not arrived yet. Thoughts may still be moving, softly or insistently. Small memories drifting in, fragments of conversations, questions without urgency, yet without answers. Plans that do not need to be solved tonight, but still circle gently, like distant satellites. If this feels familiar, there is nothing wrong with you. This is not a failure to sleep. It is not a flaw in your brain. It is not something that needs to be fixed. It is simply your mind doing what it evolved to do. Your brain did not evolve to fall asleep easily in silence. It evolved to keep you alive. For most of human history, the quiet moments were the dangerous ones. Darkness meant uncertainty. Stillness meant vulnerability. So when the world finally goes quiet, when movement stops, when light fades, your brain often does the opposite. It becomes alert, watchful, attentive, not because something is wrong, but because it is trying to protect you. Your mind stays awake not to disturb you, but to guard you. It listens for patterns. It reviews the day. It scans the future. It checks, again and again, that everything is safe. And tonight, as you lie here, your brain may still be standing at the doorway, keeping watch, even though the house is already quiet. So if sleep has not come yet, there is no need to force it. Sleep does not respond well to pressure. It does not arrive faster when demanded. In fact, the more you chase it, the farther it drifts away. Tonight, nothing is required of you. This video does not ask you to sleep. It does not expect anything from you at all. You do not need to relax. You do not need to breathe a certain way. You do not need to clear your thoughts. You only need to listen. Listening is easy. Listening requires no effort. Listening allows your mind to stay gently occupied, so it no longer feels the need to stay on guard. As you listen, your brain can slowly shift roles, from protector to observer, from watcher to listener, and eventually, from listener to dreamer. Right now, your mind may feel busy. That is okay. Thoughts are not enemies of sleep. They are simply motion, and motion, when it slows, naturally becomes stillness. There is no switch that turns the mind off. There is only a gradual dimming, like the evening sky. At first, the sky is still bright, then colors soften, edges blur, light fades without effort. Your mind works the same way. You do not fall asleep all at once. You drift, and drifting is something the brain knows how to do very well when it feels safe enough. Safety is the true doorway to sleep, not silence, not darkness, not exhaustion. Safety. And safety begins with understanding. So let your mind know this, gently. Nothing needs to be solved tonight. Nothing needs to be decided. Nothing needs to be remembered or prepared. The world can wait. Right now, you are allowed to exist without action. Your breathing will continue on its own. Your heart already knows its rhythm. Your body is doing everything it needs to do without instruction. Even your thoughts, as restless as they may seem, are already beginning to slow, simply because they are being noticed and not resisted. The brain is a prediction machine. All day long, it anticipates, prepares, calculates. But when the environment becomes steady, predictable, and gentle, the brain receives a different message. It hears consistency. It senses rhythm. It detects no urgency. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, it begins to lower its guard. Listening to a calm voice, steady, and unhurried, gives the brain something simple to hold on to, a single thread of sound, moving forward at an unchanging pace. This is not stimulation, it is reassurance. As you listen, your brain does not need to scan the darkness. It does not need to replay the day. It does not need to jump ahead. It can rest its attention right here, on these words, flowing gently, one after another. There is nowhere else to be. If your thoughts wander, that is not a problem. Wandering is part of drifting. Each time you notice your attention returning, you are already moving closer to rest. Not by effort, by gravity. Sleep is not something you do. It is something that happens when nothing else is required. Right now, your only task, if it can even be called a task, is to remain here, to let the sounds continue, to let the images form and dissolve on their own. Perhaps you begin to notice the quiet behind the words, the soft space between sentences, the pauses that feel longer than they are. Those spaces are important. They give your mind room to stretch, and then slowly to settle. Your eyelids may feel heavier now, or perhaps lighter. Your breathing may feel slower, or simply less noticeable. There is no correct sensation. Sleep does not follow instructions. It follows comfort, and comfort grows when there is no expectation. Tonight, you are not trying to sleep. You are allowing yourself to be carried, like floating on calm water, where effort only causes sinking and stillness keeps you afloat. Your mind may still think for a while. That is fine. Eventually, thoughts lose their sharp edges. They become less complete, less verbal, more like impressions than sentences. This is not something you need to watch for. It happens on its own. Your brain knows this path. You have walked it many times before, even if you do not remember the moment you crossed over. No one remembers falling asleep. That forgetting is part of the process, and soon, forgetting will come naturally. For now, just remain here, listening, resting, doing nothing at all. The night is long, there is plenty of time, and nothing is being asked of you, not even sleep. As you continue to rest here, listening without effort, something subtle is already happening. Your brain is beginning to trust the rhythm. It no longer needs to check every sound. It no longer needs to scan for change. The steady flow of words has become familiar, and familiarity is one of the brain's strongest signals of safety. When the brain feels safe, it begins to change how it experiences reality. Most people imagine perception as something simple. Light enters the eyes, sound enters the ears, signals travel inward, and the brain records what is there, like a camera. But that is not how the brain works. Your brain does not wait for the world to arrive. It does not sit passively, collecting information. Instead, it predicts. At every moment of your life, your brain is quietly asking a question. What is most likely happening right now? And before the answer arrives from your senses, your brain has already prepared a guess. What you experience as reality is not a direct copy of the outside world. It is a carefully constructed draft, a best guess, a soft, continuously updated prediction. The technical name for this process is predictive processing, but the idea itself is very simple. Your brain builds the world from the inside out. It takes memories, expectations, patterns from the past, and uses them to anticipate the present. Then, when sensory information arrives, the brain compares it to the prediction. If the prediction is close enough, the brain relaxes. If it is very different, the brain pays attention. Most of the time, your predictions are accurate. That is why the world feels stable, solid, reliable. You do not wake up each morning surprised by gravity. You do not need to test whether the floor will support you. Your brain already knows. Prediction saves energy. It allows you to move smoothly through the day, without thinking about every detail. But at night, when the external world grows quiet, the balance shifts. There is less sensory information arriving. The room is darker. The sounds are fewer. Movement has slowed. And in this quiet, the brain turns inward. Predictions become louder than input. Thoughts, memories, worries, images, they are all predictions too. Your brain is still doing its job, still building a version of reality, even when there is very little happening outside. This is why the mind can feel so active at night. Not because it is broken, not because you are doing something wrong, but because prediction has nothing to compete with. During the day, the world constantly corrects the brain. At night, the brain fills in the gaps on its own, and the more alert the brain feels, the faster those predictions move. Faster predictions feel like racing thoughts, like restlessness, like a mind that refuses to settle. But something important happens when the environment becomes slow, predictable, and gentle. The brain begins to slow its predictions. It does not stop predicting. It simply predicts less urgently, less often, less precisely. Right now, as you lie here listening, your brain has learned something. It has learned that nothing sudden is happening, that the tone of the voice does not change, that the pace remains steady, that no response is required. And with each moment of repetition, the brain's predictions soften. This is not something you need to control. It happens automatically. Predictive processing is deeply tied to rhythm. When rhythm is fast and irregular, the brain prepares for action. When rhythm is slow and consistent, the brain prepares for rest. This is why lullabies exist, why waves calm us, why slow breathing spreads through a room. The brain predicts what comes next, and when what comes next is always gentle, the brain stops bracing itself. You may notice now that the world feels slightly farther away. The edges of the room may feel less defined. Your sense of time may be less sharp. This is not losing awareness. It is narrowing focus. Your brain is choosing to invest less energy in precise predictions. It no longer needs a high-resolution version of reality. A softer version will do. Vision may dim behind closed eyes. Sounds may blend together. Thoughts may become less verbal. This is what slowing predictions feels like. Reality becomes simpler, quieter, less detailed. Not because the world has changed, but because the brain no longer needs to work as hard to explain it. In waking life, your brain is constantly trying to stay ahead. It predicts traffic patterns, other people's reactions, possible problems. But here, lying safely, with nothing demanded of you, there is no advantage to speed. So the brain shifts modes. Predictions stretch out. They take longer to form. They arrive less frequently. The space between them grows. And in that space, something else appears. A feeling of drifting, not moving forward, not backward, just floating. Sleep does not begin when the brain stops predicting. Sleep begins when predictions become loose enough that they no longer anchor you to the present moment. Dreams are predictions without external correction. They are what the brain does when it no longer needs to check reality. As you rest here, you may begin to sense the early signs of this transition. Thoughts may become strange, unfinished, slightly illogical. Images may appear without context. A color, a place, a sensation. There is no need to follow them. They are simply predictions losing structure. Your brain is gently testing what happens when it lets go of precision, and it discovers something reassuring. Nothing bad happens. The body remains supported. Breathing continues. The environment stays calm, so the brain loosens its grip a little more. This is why trying to control sleep often backfires. Control requires prediction, monitoring, evaluation, but sleep thrives in uncertainty. When the brain allows itself to not know exactly what comes next, it can finally rest. Right now, you are not trying to understand these words. You are simply letting them pass through. Understanding requires sharp predictions. Listening does not. Listening allows the brain to stay occupied without needing to be accurate. The words do not demand meaning. They only offer continuity. And continuity is soothing to a predictive system. As long as something gentle continues, the brain does not need to stay alert. You may notice now that your sense of your body is changing. Some areas feel distant, others fade completely. This is also prediction. The brain no longer needs a detailed map of every muscle and joint. A general outline is enough. And soon, even that may blur. This is not disappearing, it is simplifying. The brain always chooses the easiest explanation that keeps you safe. At this moment, the easiest explanation is that nothing needs attention. So attention drifts, predictions slow, reality softens, and the world you experience becomes less solid, more fluid, like a thought rather than a place. If you are still awake, that is perfectly fine. Awake and resting share many of the same pathways. Sleep does not arrive like a switch being flipped. It arrives like a shore being left behind, without noticing the exact moment you stopped touching land. There is nothing to wait for, nothing to achieve. Your brain is already doing the work. Each second of calm repetition teaches it that the future holds no surprises. And when the future feels empty of threat, prediction becomes unnecessary. The brain finally allows itself to stop rehearsing, to stop drafting, to let the next moment remain unknown. And in that unknown, sleep naturally unfolds. For now, just continue listening. Let the predictions slow on their own. Let the draft of reality become softer, less detailed, more forgiving. There is nowhere else to go, nothing else to prepare for. Only this gentle forward movement, carrying you quietly toward rest. As you continue to rest here, with nothing required of you, your brain is already quieter than before. Not silent, just less urgent. The predictions have slowed. The edges of reality have softened. And in this gentler state, the brain becomes especially responsive to one powerful force: expectation. Expectation is not the same as hope. It is not wishful thinking. It is not imagination pretending to be real. Expectation is a biological signal. Your brain uses expectation to decide how much energy to release, how much pain to allow, how much effort to prepare for. Expectation tells the body what is likely to happen next, and the body listens. For a long time, people believed that belief itself was something vague and psychological, soft, unmeasurable. But modern neuroscience tells a different story. When the brain expects relief, it does not wait passively to see if relief arrives. It prepares for it. Inside the brain, networks begin to shift. Chemical messengers are released. Neural pathways change their activity. Signals travel downward, from thought to tissue. This is what we call the placebo effect. The word placebo often sounds dismissive, as if it means not real. But the placebo effect is very real. It is not a trick. It is not imagination alone. It is the brain doing exactly what it evolved to do: use expectation to regulate the body. When a person believes they are receiving medicine, even when the pill contains no active drug, the brain responds as if help is on the way, and so it begins to help itself. Pain-relieving systems activate. The brain releases its own opioids, natural morphine-like substances that reduce discomfort. Dopamine is released, shifting motivation and mood. Serotonin levels adjust, influencing calm, safety, and well-being. Heart rate changes. Blood pressure shifts. Immune response alter. These changes are measurable, visible on brain scans, detectable in blood tests. Belief becomes biology. Expectation becomes chemistry. The body responds, not to what is objectively present, but to what the brain predicts is coming. This is not deception. This is efficiency. Why wait for relief? If relief is expected, Why endure unnecessary pain if the brain believes it can be reduced? The brain is always trying to minimize suffering and conserve energy. Expectation gives it permission to do so, but expectation works in both directions. Just as positive expectation can ease pain, negative expectation can amplify it. If the brain expects harm, it prepares for harm. This is known as the nocebo effect, the darker mirror of placebo. When someone expects side effects, even from an inert substance, their brain may create them. Nausea, headaches, dizziness, pain. Again, not imagined, not fake. Real physiological responses driven by expectation. The brain does not distinguish between a threat that is present and a threat that is predicted. Prediction alone is enough, and this matters deeply for sleep. At night, when the mind is quiet but alert, expectation often turns inward. People begin to expect difficulty. I won't fall asleep. I'm going to be tired tomorrow. My mind always races at night. These expectations, repeated gently but persistently, become instructions. The brain listens. It increases alertness. It raises vigilance. It prepares the body to stay awake, not to frustrate you, but to protect you from the imagined outcome. The brain believes it is helping, but here, in this moment, the environment is telling a different story. There is no threat, no urgency, no demand. The rhythm is slow. The voice is steady. Nothing sudden is coming. So expectation begins to shift, not through effort, not through positive thinking, but through repetition. Each moment that passes without disturbance teaches the brain something new. This is safe. This is consistent. Nothing is required. And slowly, expectation changes direction. Instead of expecting effort, the brain begins to expect ease. Instead of anticipating struggle, it anticipates continuation. And continuation is restful. You may notice now that your body feels slightly heavier, or perhaps lighter. Both are signs that muscle tone is adjusting. The brain is reducing the signals that keep the body prepared for action. This is expectation at work, not as a conscious thought, but as a background assumption. The body assumes it does not need to move, so it doesn't. The brain assumes it does not need to stay alert, so it lets go. This is why rituals matter so much. The same bed, the same sounds, the same quiet routine. They train expectation. Over time, the brain learns that certain patterns lead to rest. And once that expectation is established, the body responds before you ask it to. Tonight, you are gently creating that pattern, not by trying to sleep, but by allowing consistency, by letting this calm sequence continue uninterrupted. Each sentence that follows another, without surprise, strengthens the brain's expectation that nothing sudden will occur. And with that expectation, the nervous system relaxes further. The brain releases chemicals that promote calm and comfort. The body temperature may begin to drop slightly. Breathing may slow. The jaw may unclench. These are not commands. They are consequences. Your belief does not need to be strong. It does not need to be conscious. The brain does not require certainty. It only requires probability. And right now, the probability of safety is very high. The probability of rest is increasing. The probability of needing to act is fading. Expectation, once sharp and vigilant, is becoming vague, and vague expectations do not drive strong responses. They allow drifting. This is why sleep often arrives when you stop checking for it. Checking sharpens expectation. It asks, has it happened yet? Letting go dissolves expectation entirely. And in that absence, the brain finds rest. You do not need to believe that sleep is coming. You only need to stop expecting that it won't. And even that happens naturally, without effort. As the moments pass calmly, Your brain is incredibly sensitive to tone and timing, the softness of sound, the even spacing of words, the lack of urgency. These qualities teach expectation more effectively than any thought ever could. As you listen, your brain is learning. It is learning that nothing bad follows silence, that nothing urgent follows stillness, that nothing dangerous follows rest, so it prepares accordingly. Chemistry shifts, signals quiet, awareness narrows, expectation transforms from alert anticipation into gentle allowance, and allowance is the doorway through which sleep enters. You may already be crossing that threshold, not noticing exactly when, not marking the moment, just drifting as expectation loosens its grip on the future. For now, there is nothing else to consider, only this steady continuation, a sequence without demand, a pattern without pressure. Let your brain do what it does best. When it feels safe enough, let expectation become calm. Let chemistry follow, and allow the body to move naturally toward rest. As you remain here, resting without effort, something important is already fading. The sense of urgency, the need to monitor, the habit of checking. Your brain has learned, over these last moments, that nothing unexpected is coming. And when the brain stops expecting surprise, it stops preparing for danger. Fear, at its core, is not an emotion. It is a signal sent by the brain to the body, warning it that something might be wrong. Fear is not weakness. It is protection. Long before language, before logic, before conscious thought, fear kept humans alive. It sharpened the senses. It increased heart rate. It prepared muscles to move. Fear said, "Pay attention. Something matters." But fear does not require real danger. It only requires belief. When the brain believes a threat exists, even if that threat is imagined, the body responds as if it were real. This is known as the nocebo effect. Just as expectation can heal, expectation can also harm. When negative outcomes are anticipated, the brain prepares the body for suffering. Muscles tighten, breathing becomes shallow, pain sensitivity increases, the immune system shifts toward defense. All of this happens automatically. The body does not ask whether the danger is logical, it only asks whether the danger is believed. At night, when the world is quiet and the mind turns inward, fear often changes shape. It no longer looks like something obvious. It becomes subtle, a tight feeling in the chest, a sense of restlessness, a thought that whispers, "What if something is wrong?" These thoughts do not shout, they murmur, but the brain hears them clearly. And because the brain's job is to keep you safe, it responds. It raises alertness. It increases monitoring. It keeps sleep just out of reach, not as punishment, but as protection. The brain thinks it is helping, and this is where many people struggle. They fight the fear. They argue with their thoughts. They try to force calm, but fear does not respond to force. Fear responds to reassurance, to tone, to rhythm, to predictability. The brain's threat system is ancient. It does not understand logic well, but it understands pattern. When the environment is chaotic, the brain stays alert. When the environment is steady, the brain begins to relax. This is why the sound of a calm voice can be so powerful. A gentle voice carries information beyond words. It carries pace, consistency, intention. When a voice remains slow and even, the brain receives a clear message. There is no danger here, and a dome. And when that message is repeated, again and again, without contradiction, the brain listens. It does not shut down instantly. It does not switch off. It gradually lowers the volume of its alarm system. This alarm system has a name. It is often called the threat network. It includes areas of the brain that scan for danger, predict harm, and prepare the body to respond. When this network is active, sleep is difficult, but when it quiets, sleep becomes natural. Right now, as you listen, this network is receiving fewer reasons to stay active. There are no sudden sounds, no sharp changes, no demands. The rhythm is predictable. The tone remains gentle. The pace does not rush. So the brain begins to stand down. This does not happen all at once. It happens layer by layer. First, muscles soften slightly. Then breathing deepens. Then the constant background tension begins to dissolve. Thoughts lose their edge. Fear-based thoughts, in particular, become less convincing. Not because they are disproven, but because they are no longer needed. The brain does not hold on to fear when it serves no purpose. Fear costs energy, and the brain is efficient. When the environment feels safe, it chooses rest. You may notice now that the body feels more distant, that sensations blur together. This is the brain reallocating attention. When there is no threat, attention narrows. The body no longer needs to report every sensation. A general sense of presence is enough. Fear thrives on detail. Calm thrives on simplicity. And simplicity is increasing. This is why listening to a calm voice can quiet fear more effectively than silence. Silence leaves space for the brain to fill with predictions. A steady voice fills that space gently, leaving no room for alarm. It becomes a reference point, something consistent that the brain can rely on. As long as the voice continues, the brain does not need to stay on high alert. And as alertness fades, the body follows. Heart rate slows, blood pressure settles, muscles release their grip. These changes are subtle, often unnoticed, but they are happening. Fear does not disappear dramatically. It dissolves quietly, like mist warming under morning light. You do not need to confront your fears tonight. You do not need to name them, analyze them, or resolve them. That would require attention, and attention would wake the brain again. Instead, fear is being gently bypassed, not suppressed, not ignored, simply rendered unnecessary. The brain is learning, moment by moment, that nothing bad follows this stillness. So it reduces its warnings. Negative thoughts may still appear. That is normal. Thoughts are habits, but notice how they feel now. Less convincing, less urgent, more distant. They pass more easily. This is the nocebo effect unwinding. When negative expectations are no longer reinforced, the body stops responding to them. The chemistry shifts back toward balance. Stress hormones decrease. Calming neurotransmitters rise. The nervous system moves from defense to maintenance. This is the state in which sleep naturally emerges. Sleep is not the absence of fear. It is the absence of danger signals. And right now, those signals are fading. The voice you hear is not asking anything of you. It is not testing you. It is not judging your state. It is simply present. And presence is powerful. For the brain, presence without threat equals safety. You may already be feeling a sense of drifting, a gentle disconnection from the room around you. This is not loss of control. It is surrender to safety. The brain is allowing itself to step back, to stop watching so closely, to trust that nothing needs to be done. Fear cannot survive in an environment of trust, and trust does not need to be earned. It emerges naturally when nothing bad happens. For long enough, each calm second builds on the last. Each gentle word reinforces the pattern, and the brain, which once stayed awake to protect you, now realizes that protection is no longer required, so it rests. And when the brain rests, sleep follows, not forced, not rushed, but welcomed. For now, there is nothing else to consider, no threats to evaluate, no dangers to anticipate, only this steady, calm, continuing forward, carrying you deeper into rest. As you remain here, resting more deeply now, there is a growing sense that your body is no longer asking for attention, not because everything is perfect, but because nothing feels urgent. This is important because pain, at its core, is not a signal from the body alone. Pain is a decision, not a conscious one, not something you choose, but a decision made quietly by the brain. Every moment, your brain receives millions of signals from the body: pressure, temperature, movement, chemical changes. Most of these signals never reach your awareness. They are filtered, sorted, adjusted. Only a small fraction becomes sensation, and an even smaller fraction becomes pain. Pain is not the signal itself. Pain is the meaning the brain assigns to the signal. The brain asks a question: how dangerous is this? If the answer is very, the brain turns the volume up. If the answer is not much, the brain turns the volume down. This is why the same injury can feel very different in different situations. A cut noticed during an emergency may not hurt at all. The same cut noticed later, in safety, may suddenly ache. The body did not change. The context did. Pain is not a measure of damage. It is a measure of perceived threat, and perceived threat is shaped by safety. When the brain believes you are safe, it reduces pain, not because it ignores the body, but because pain is expensive. Pain demands attention. It demands energy. It demands action. When action is not required, pain is unnecessary, so the brain quiets it. This is why reassurance reduces pain, why calm reduces discomfort, why fear amplifies everything. The brain is constantly adjusting the volume knob of sensation. Right now, that knob is turning down, not dramatically, not suddenly, but gradually. As safety increases, the brain allows muscles to release. Tension melts first. Pain follows later, because tension is preparation. Preparation for movement. Preparation for defense. When there is nothing to defend against, tension loses its purpose. So the brain lets go. You may notice now that areas of your body feel heavier or perhaps numb. This is not loss of sensation. It is redistribution of attention. The brain no longer needs detailed feedback from everywhere. A general sense is enough. This is why pain often fades. When attention drifts, not because pain was imaginary, but because it was no longer prioritized, your brain is protective, not cruel. It does not create pain to punish you. It creates pain to help you survive. And when survival is assured, it eases its grip. The brain is always asking, do we need this signal right now? And right now, the answer is increasingly no. The environment is calm. The body is still. The rhythm is slow. All the conditions of safety are present, so the brain adjusts. Pain becomes less sharp, less defined, less demanding. Sometimes it becomes a vague sensation. Sometimes it disappears entirely. Both are signs that the brain feels safe enough to let go. You do not need to focus on pain for this to happen. In fact, focusing can make pain louder because attention tells the brain that something is important. Here, nothing is being emphasized. The voice continues gently. The pace remains unchanged. This consistency tells the brain that nothing needs urgent correction, so the pain system quiets. This process has been observed again and again in soldiers, in athletes, in people undergoing medical procedures. When the brain believes that the situation is controlled and meaningful, pain decreases. When the brain believes that the situation is chaotic or threatening, pain increases. Meaning matters. Safety matters. And right now, your brain is receiving clear signals of both. There is meaning here, but no threat. The meaning is simple. You are allowed to rest. Rest is not inactivity. Rest is a signal. It tells the brain that the environment is stable, that no immediate response is required. And when rest is allowed, the pain system stands down. You may feel small releases, a shoulder dropping, a jaw loosening, a breath deepening on its own. These are not actions. They are permissions. The brain is giving the body permission to stop holding. Holding tension is tiring. Holding pain is tiring. The brain prefers efficiency, so it chooses the easiest state that keeps you safe. Right now, that state is stillness. As the body softens, the boundary between sensations becomes less clear. Where one feeling ends and another begins is no longer obvious. This blending is another sign that the brain is reducing resolution. High resolution is for danger. Low resolution is for rest. Sleep requires low resolution. It does not need sharp edges. And pain, which relies on sharp edges, fades in low-resolution states. This is why sleep can be such a powerful healer. Not because sleep fixes everything, but because sleep suspends the constant evaluation of threat. During sleep, the brain stops asking, "How bad is this?" It stops deciding. And without decisions, pain has nowhere to live. As you drift closer to that state, you may notice moments where the body feels almost absent, as if you are floating rather than lying. This is normal. The brain is temporarily releasing its detailed map of the body. This map is useful during movement. It is unnecessary during rest. So it fades. And as it fades, pain fades with it. Nothing is being suppressed. Nothing is being ignored. The brain is simply choosing a different mode, a mode where safety is assumed. In this mode, the body does not need to speak loudly. A whisper is enough. Or silence. If discomfort returns briefly, that is okay. The brain does not turn dials in a straight line. It adjusts, checks, adjusts again. Each time it finds that nothing bad follows relaxation, it relaxes more deeply. This is learning. Your nervous system is learning that letting go does not lead to harm, so it lets go again and again until holding on feels unnecessary. Pain is not the enemy of sleep. Fear is, and fear has already been softening. As fear fades, pain follows naturally, not forced away, just no longer needed. You may notice now that breathing is slower, deeper, less noticeable. Breath and pain are closely linked. When breathing is shallow, the brain prepares for action. When breathing is slow, the brain prepares for rest. You did not change your breath. Safety changed it for you. This is how deeply connected the systems are. The brain listens constantly to the body, and the body listens constantly to the brain. Right now, they are agreeing that nothing needs attention, agreeing that stillness is acceptable, agreeing that rest is allowed. In this agreement, pain has no role to play, so it steps aside. The body becomes quieter, heavier, or lighter. Time becomes less structured. Moments stretch or disappear. This is not loss. This is transition. You are not going somewhere new. You are returning to a state your body knows well, a state where effort is unnecessary, where decisions are postponed, where sensation is muted, where sleep waits patiently. You do not need to reach it. You are already moving toward it. Each calm second lowers the volume a little more. Each gentle word reinforces safety, and safety is the condition in which pain dissolves and sleep emerges. For now, there is nothing else to consider, no sensations to evaluate, no discomfort to measure, only this slow continuation, a quiet unfolding, carrying you further into rest. As you remain here, carried forward by the same calm rhythm, there is a quiet shift happening beneath awareness. Nothing dramatic, nothing sudden, just a gradual easing. The body no longer feels like a collection of separate parts. It feels more like a single, soft weight, supported, held, and in this state, it becomes easier to understand something important. Stress is not a thing you carry. Stress is a story the brain tells the body. When it believes something must be managed, avoided, or endured, stress begins as information. A signal that says, something matters, is work. But when that signal repeats too often, for too long, without resolution, it becomes noise. And the brain, unable to tell when the story has ended, keeps telling it, again and again. Stress is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, a subtle tightening, a background tension, a sense that rest is not fully allowed. The brain does not intend harm. It is trying to help. It believes that by keeping the story active, it is keeping you prepared. But preparation has a cost. When the stress story runs continuously, the body remains in a state of readiness. Hormones are released. Inflammatory signals increase. Repair slows. Not because the body is failing, but because repair is postponed. The brain believes there will be time later. Later, when it is safe. But later never arrives. If the story never ends, stress, over time, changes how the body behaves at the smallest levels. Cells respond differently. Immune systems shift. Healing becomes less efficient. This is not punishment. It is prioritization. The body prioritizes survival over restoration. But survival mode is not meant to be permanent. It is meant to be brief. Tonight, nothing is asking you to survive. Nothing needs to be fought, solved, or escaped. And the brain is beginning to notice, because the story is changing. The rhythm has not changed. The tone has not changed. Nothing unexpected has happened. Moment after moment, the environment has remained gentle. This consistency sends a powerful message. The story can end now, not by force, not by decision, but by fading. Stories do not end all at once. They trail off. Sentences become shorter. Details disappear. Meaning softens. And eventually, there is only silence. Where the story once was, as the stress story quiets, the body responds. Inflammatory signals begin to lower. Repair systems slowly come back online. This does not happen instantly, but it begins quickly. The body is always waiting for permission to heal, and permission comes from safety. Right now, your brain is offering that permission. You may feel this as a warmth spreading gently, or as heaviness, or as nothing at all. All of these are signs that the nervous system is shifting from doing to being, from reacting to maintaining. Cells behave differently in this state. They repair DNA more effectively. They reduce unnecessary inflammation. They communicate more calmly. The body becomes quieter inside, not silent, just balanced. This is why rest is not lazy. Rest is active restoration, and sleep is the deepest form of rest. The body knows, but sleep does not arrive. When the brain is still telling stories, sleep arrives. When the story loses momentum, tonight, you are not trying to end the story. You are simply no longer adding to it. You are not reviewing the day. You are not rehearsing tomorrow. You are listening. Listening does not create narrative. It allows narrative to dissolve. As you listen, the brain stops generating new chapters. It stops checking for plot twists. It allows the story to fade into the background. And in that fading, stress has nothing to hold on to. Stress requires a future to worry about, or a past to revisit. Here, there is only the present, and the present is calm. You may notice now that your sense of time is changing. Minutes feel longer or shorter. This is another sign. that the stress story is weakening. Stress relies on urgency. Urgency requires time awareness. When time softens, stress cannot maintain its grip. The brain no longer feels the need to rush, and without rushing, the body settles further. Breathing slows, heart rate evens out. These changes are not controlled, they are allowed. The brain is choosing a different mode, a mode where repair matters more than preparation, where healing is no longer postponed. Stress hormones decrease, calming signals increase. This shift does not require belief. It does not require understanding. It requires only consistency, and consistency is already here. Nothing has changed suddenly. Nothing is about to happen. The brain is learning that it can let go without consequence. This is a powerful lesson because the brain often clings to stress out of habit, not because stress is useful, but because it is familiar. Tonight, familiarity is being replaced with something else. Gentle repetition, predictability, safety. And as these new patterns settle in, the old story loses its voice. You may feel moments where thoughts begin but do not finish, where images appear, then dissolve. This is the story losing structure. You do not need to follow these fragments. They are not messages. They are echoes. The brain is winding down. The machinery of stress. Allow it. Nothing needs to be fixed tonight. Healing does not require effort. It requires space, and space is opening. Inside the body, inside the mind, the cells respond to this space with quiet activity, repair, balancing, restoration. You do not feel this happening. You do not need to. The body knows what to do when it is not being interrupted. Stress interrupts, calm permits, and calm is now the dominant signal. You may notice that awareness is narrowing. Sounds blend together. The sense of your body becomes vague. This is the brain conserving energy. It is no longer scanning. It is no longer preparing. It is resting. And when the brain rests, the body follows. Stress cannot exist in a system that is resting deeply. It dissolves as its story ends, not with a conclusion, but with quiet. For now, there is nothing else to hear, nothing else to process, only this steady continuation, a calm presence that does not ask anything of you. Let the story fade, let the body soften, let the cells do what they do best when left alone. Repair, restore, rest. And as this continues, sleep draws closer, not as a goal, but as a natural outcome of a story, finally allowed to end. As everything continues to soften, as the story fades further into the background, something very quiet becomes more noticeable. Your breath, not as something to control, not as something to change, just as something that is happening. Breathing has been with you since the very beginning, long before language, long before memory. It is older than thought, and because it is so old, the body understands it before the mind ever does. You do not need to tell your body how to breathe. You never have. Breath adjusts itself automatically, based on what the brain believes is happening. When the brain senses danger, breathing becomes shallow, quick, prepared. When the brain senses safety, breathing slows, deepens, spreads gently through the body. This change does not require instructions. It happens through a pathway that runs quietly from the brain down into the body. This pathway is called the vagus nerve. It is one of the longest nerves in the body. It connects the brain to the heart, the lungs, the digestive system. It carries messages in both directions, not just from brain to body, but from body back to brain. And one of the clearest messages it understands is the rhythm of the breath, especially the exhale. The body listens very closely to how you breathe out. A short, quick exhale signals readiness. A long, gentle exhale signals safety. The message is simple. Everything is okay now. The body hears this message, even when the mind is busy, even when thoughts are still drifting, even when awareness feels hazy. This is because breathing does not require interpretation. It is not symbolic. It is direct. When the exhale lengthens, the vagus nerve sends a signal upward, a signal that says, we are safe enough to rest. And when that signal reaches the brain responds immediately. Heart rate slows, blood pressure settles, muscles soften. The threat system quiets, not because you asked it to, but because it received clear evidence. The body showed its safety. You may notice now that your breathing has already changed, not because you tried to change it, but because the environment has been calm long enough. Each slow sentence, each gentle pause, they shape breathing without effort. This is how deeply connected sound and breath are. The nervous system listens to rhythm. When rhythm is slow, the body follows. You might notice that the inhale feels less important now. The body takes in air easily, but the exhale lingers. It stretches. It takes its time. This is not something you are doing. It is something you are allowing. And allowance is powerful because the vagus nerve does not respond to force. It responds to permission. As the exhale lengthens, signals spread outward. The chest loosens. The throat relaxes. The stomach softens. Digestion begins to shift from pause back into motion. Repair systems wake gently. The body begins to behave as if the night has officially begun, as if the day is truly over. You may feel this as warmth in the chest, or as heaviness in the limbs, or as a gentle floating sensation. All are signs that the nervous system is moving away from effort toward rest. The mind may still think occasionally. That is okay. Thought does not interrupt this process. Breathing speaks louder than thought. Breathing is the language the nervous system trusts most. You do not need to think calm thoughts. You do not need to imagine safety. The body already knows. It feels it. In the slowing rhythm of breath leaving the body, each exhale is a small letting go. Not dramatic, not final, just enough. And then another, and another. The body does not rush this. It does not hurry towards sleep. It simply follows the easiest path. And the easiest path is the one with the least resistance. Right now, that path leads downward, into stillness, into heaviness, into quiet. The vagus nerve plays a role here that is often unnoticed. It is active when you feel calm after eating, when you feel safe around others, when you feel soothed by a gentle voice. It is the nerve of connection. Connection to the body, connection to the present moment. And connection is the opposite of stress. Stress fragments attention. Connection gathers it back together. As breathing slows, awareness narrows. The outside world becomes less relevant. The inside world becomes simpler. There is less to track, less to monitor, less to evaluate. This simplicity is deeply restful. The brain no longer needs high alertness. When the vagus nerve is active, it receives constant feedback. All is well, and so it begins to power down systems that are no longer needed. The muscles of the face relax. The tongue rests more heavily. The eyes sink deeper into their sockets. These are ancient signs of safety, signs shared across mammals. You are not learning anything new. You are remembering something very old. The body remembers how to rest. It has done this thousands of times. You do not need to guide it. You only need to stop interrupting it. And interruption has already faded. The rhythm continues. The voice remains even. Breathing remains slow. The vagus nerve remains engaged. This creates a loop. Slow breath, safety signal, calm brain, slower breath. A gentle cycle, self-sustaining, effortless. You may notice moments where you are not fully aware of breathing at all. Moments where attention drifts. This is a sign that the body is taking over. When awareness fades, control fades with it, and control is no longer necessary. The nervous system has everything it needs. It does not require supervision. Sleep often arrives when the mind finally trusts that the body knows what to do, and trust is forming now, not as a thought, as a feeling, a sense that nothing needs watching, nothing needs adjusting, nothing needs effort. Breathing continues. Exhales remain long. The vagus nerve continues its quiet conversation with the brain, and the brain listens. It responds by releasing calming chemicals, by reducing muscle tone, by allowing consciousness to dim. This dimming is not sudden, it is gradual. Like the last light, slipping below the horizon, colors soften, edges disappear, and eventually there is only darkness that feels safe. If you drift in and out of awareness, that is fine. Drifting is the doorway. You are not meant to stay fully awake. Through this, the body is already moving towards sleep. Gently, naturally, each slow exhale is a step further. Not a step you take, a step the body takes for you. There is nothing else to add, nothing else to explain. Only this rhythm, this soft repetition, this quiet signal, repeated again and again. Everything is okay, and the body believes it. The brain believes it. Cells believe it. And belief, at this level, is not thought. It is physiology. For now, there is nothing else to do, nothing else to notice. Just allow breathing to continue on its own. Allow the nervous system to guide you the rest of the way. Sleep is very close now, not approaching, already unfolding. As the breath continues on its own and the nervous system remains quiet, something subtle is happening. Not dramatic, not obvious, but real. Even now, as you lie here doing nothing at all, the brain is still changing. Learning does not stop when effort stops. In fact, some of the deepest learning only happens when effort disappears. For a long time, it was believed that the adult brain was fixed, that after a certain age, nothing truly changed. But neuroscience showed something else. The brain is always adapting, always reshaping itself based on what it repeatedly experiences. This ability is called neuroplasticity. It is not reserved for intense training or focused practice. It responds just as strongly to stillness, to repetition, to safety. Right now, your brain is experiencing a rare condition. No problem to solve, no threat to track, no demand to respond. This is not absence. It is a signal. When the brain senses extended calm, it begins to reorganize. Connections that are rarely used start to weaken. Connections associated with stress, urgency, and vigilance lose strength. At the same time, other pathways begin to grow. Paths linked to calm attention, emotional balance, rest. This happens quietly. You do not feel neurons rewiring. There is no sensation, just a gradual shift in how easily the brain returns to calm in the future. This is why meditation does not require effort. Effort activates the same circuits as stress. Trying to meditate often keeps the brain alert, but resting without demand creates the conditions for change. Right now, you are not practicing anything, and yet your brain is practicing rest. Stillness is not empty, it is informative. The brain learns from patterns, and the pattern now is safety over time. Minutes of calm teach the brain more than seconds of relief. This is why extended quiet is powerful. The brain begins to assume This is normal now. And what the brain considers normal, it tries to preserve. You may notice that thoughts appear less frequently, or when they do appear, they feel softer, less convincing. This is not because you push them away. It is because the brain is no longer reinforcing them. Attention is the fertilizer for neural circuits. What receives less attention grows weaker. And right now, attention is diffuse, gentle, unfocused. This allows overactive circuits to rest. It allows quieter systems to come forward. Regions involved in self-monitoring begin to reduce activity. The sense of me doing something fades. This is a known state. Brain scans show that during deep rest, the default mode network begins to settle. This network is involved in rumination, self-criticism, and mental time travel. When it quiets, the mind feels spacious, not blank, just wide, like an open night sky, without sharp edges. In this state, learning continues. Without conscious effort, the brain compares this calm to previous states. It updates its expectations. It learns, I can exist without tension. I can be awake without effort. These lessons sink deep. They do not require memory. They become tendencies. Over time, this changes how quickly the brain activates stress in daily life. It does not eliminate stress. It shortens its duration. Recovery becomes faster. Calm becomes easier to access. And this begins here. In moments like this, moments that seem uneventful, the brain prefers learning from repetition, not intensity. This is why long, quiet listening is effective. The voice remains steady. The rhythm remains slow. The brain receives the same message again and again. No urgency, no demand. This repetition reshapes expectations. You might drift now between awareness and sleep. This drifting is not failure. It is ideal. In this borderland, the brain is especially flexible. It is less guarded, less analytical, more receptive. Neural patterns soften. New associations form. Rest becomes linked with awareness. Awareness becomes linked with safety. This is not something you are choosing. It is something your nervous system is discovering. Even if sleep arrives, learning continues. During sleep, the brain consolidates patterns from waking life. The calm experienced now is replayed later, strengthened, integrated. This is why you may notice, over time, that resting becomes easier, that your body responds faster to gentle cues. The change is gradual, almost invisible, but it accumulates. Neuroplasticity does not announce itself. It works quietly, like water shaping stone. Each moment of stillness leaves a trace. Each calm breath adds weight to the memory of safety. You do not need to remember this intellectually. Your brain remembers it biologically. Right now, nothing is required. No posture, no focus. Even wandering thoughts are fine. The brain is learning from the overall state. The absence of struggle is the lesson. You may feel a sense of neutrality, neither happy nor sad, just present. This neutral state is deeply restorative. It gives the nervous system room to recalibrate. Hormone levels adjust. Inflammation signals reduce. Repair processes continue, all without instruction. Doing nothing is not passive. It is permissive. It allows the brain to choose balance. The longer this state lasts, the more familiar it becomes. And familiarity breeds trust. The brain trusts what it knows well. You are teaching it, gently, that rest is safe. That stillness is not dangerous. That awareness does not require control. This lesson will resurface later, in moments you least expect. When stress appears, the brain will remember another option, a quieter one. For now, you do not need to stay awake for this. Sleep may come, and that is perfect, because learning does not stop in sleep. It deepens. The voice can fade. Awareness can blur. The nervous system will continue its quiet work. You have already done enough. Even doing nothing has been enough. Let the brain continue learning in its own way. Let rest finish the lesson. Sleep is not an interruption. It is the continuation, and you are already there. As rest continues and learning quietly unfolds beneath awareness, something else begins to soften. Not the body itself, but the way sensations are experienced, because sensation is not fixed. It moves with attention, in the same way that stars seem brighter when the sky is dark and fade when the moon rises. Sensations change depending on where the mind rests. The brain does not feel everything equally. It selects. From millions of signals, it chooses a few to amplify. This selection is called attention. Attention is not effort. It is not control. It is simply what the brain leans toward, and whatever it leans toward grows louder. Whatever it does not lean toward slowly fades. This is not a metaphor. It is how sensation works. Pain, discomfort, tension, emotion, they are not raw signals. They are interpretations. The brain decides how much importance to assign. When attention narrows, sensation sharpens. When attention widens, sensation dissolves. This is why, during moments of deep focus, people forget hunger, forget pain, forget time. Nothing was removed. Attention simply moved elsewhere. Hypnosis is built on this principle. Not sleep, not control, just guided attention. When attention shifts, the brain rewrites meaning, and meaning determines intensity. In hypnosis studies, the same physical stimulus can feel painful, neutral, or distant, depending on where attention is guided. The body sends the signal, but the brain decides how close it feels. Right now, your attention is wide, diffuse, not locked onto any one thing. This state naturally reduces intensity. When attention is not staring directly at sensation, the brain reduces amplification. Discomfort becomes background noise, like a star at the edge of vision. You know it is there, but it no longer demands focus. This is not avoidance. Avoidance keeps attention tight. This is softening, a gentle unhooking. The brain is very responsive to suggestion when attention is relaxed, not because it is weak, but because it is open. Suggestion, in this context, is not command. It is permission, a direction, without force. Right now, the suggestion is simple. Nothing needs to be examined closely. There is no reason to zoom in. The mind can stay wide, like a night sky. When attention widens, edges blur. Sensations lose definition. Sharpness softens. This is why pain often feels worse when watched closely, and lighter when the mind drifts. Attention is the lens. Zoomed in, everything feels intense. Zoomed out, everything becomes manageable. Your nervous system understands this. It has used this skill before. When you were absorbed in a story, when you lost track of time, when you daydreamed, those moments were mild forms of trance, not special, not rare, just attention shifting. Hypnosis is simply intentional drifting, nothing more, nothing mystical. As the mind floats, the body follows. Muscle tone adjusts. Breathing deepens. Pain pathways receive less emphasis. The brain allocates fewer resources to sensation. This frees energy for rest. You may notice that certain sensations feel farther away now, not gone, just distant, as if observed through fog. This distance is protective. The brain learned long ago that distance reduces threat. When something feels far, it feels safer, and safety reduces intensity. This is why imagining space often helps the body relax. Wide oceans, empty deserts, silent galaxies. Distance calms the nervous system. Right now, you do not need to imagine anything. The mind is already widening. Attention is already loosening its grip. The brain is lowering the volume on what does not require action. This includes pain. This includes discomfort. This includes emotional weight. Nothing is being suppressed. The brain is simply reprioritizing. Urgency fades when attention stops feeding it. In brain imaging, researchers see that when attention moves, pain processing regions quiet down. Not completely, just enough. Enough for relief, enough for rest, enough for sleep. This is why listening without effort is powerful. The voice provides a steady anchor. Attention rests lightly on it, without gripping. This gentle focus pulls attention away from internal scanning. The body stops being checked. Tension stops being monitored. When something is no longer monitored, the brain assumes it is stable. And stability leads to relaxation. You might notice that awareness drifts in and out. Sometimes you hear clearly, sometimes you don't. This fluctuation is ideal. Each drift loosens attention further. Each return is softer, less precise. The mind no longer sharpens sensation. It allows it to blur. Like stars fading, as the sky brightens before dawn, they are still there, but they no longer dominate the view. This is the key. Nothing is removed. Nothing is forced. Everything simply changes importance. The brain is excellent at adjusting importance. It does this constantly. What matters now is rest, and attention follows that priority. Hypnosis, in its gentlest form, is just this, allowing attention to settle where effort is lowest, where nothing demands resolution, where sensation can exist without commentary, without meaning, without urgency. You are already there. There is no technique to apply. The nervous system has recognized safety, and in safety, attention relaxes naturally. This relaxation reduces intensity everywhere. Physical sensations soften, emotional sensations lighten, thoughts lose conviction. Everything becomes less solid, more spacious, more distant. This distance is not disconnection, it is perspective. Perspective gives the brain room to rest, and rest allows sleep to approach. Without resistance, you may feel that the body is heavier now, or lighter. Either is fine. Weight perception also changes. With attention, nothing needs interpretation. Nothing needs correction. Let sensation remain unfocused. Let attention stay wide. The sky does not need to count its stars. It simply holds them. And in that holding, they fade into quiet beauty. The same is happening here. The mind is holding experience without gripping, and experience is softening in response. Soon, attention may slip entirely. Sleep may arrive without announcement. This is not something to notice, not something to track. It will happen, the same way stars disappear, quietly, without effort, without drama, until there is only darkness, space, and rest. And that is more than enough. As attention has widened and sensation has softened, another quiet truth becomes easier to notice. The brain does not draw a sharp line between what is happening and what is only being imagined. To the nervous system, both are information. This is why a single thought can change the body, why a memory can quicken the heart, why an image can relax muscles. Without a single movement, the brain evolved long before the modern world. It learned to respond quickly, not accurately. If something feels real, the body prepares as if it is real. There is no pause to check facts, no filter for imagination, only signals. Danger signals increase alertness. Safety signals allow descent. This is why imagining danger raises the heart rate, and imagining safety allows the body to land. Not because imagination is powerful, but because the brain is literal. It listens closely to internal signals. Thoughts are signals. Images are signals. Tone of voice is a signal. Right now, the signals are soft, slow, non-threatening. The brain receives this and adjusts accordingly. Heart rate lowers. Muscle tone releases. Breathing deepens, all without instruction. The body is not responding to reality. It is responding to meaning, and meaning is created inside the brain. This is why fear can appear without cause, and calm can appear without reason. The nervous system reacts to stories. Some stories activate survival. Others activate rest. Tonight, the story is simple. Nothing is required. Nothing is approaching. Nothing needs to be solved. This story tells the brain it is safe to descend. When the brain hears safety repeatedly, it believes it. Repetition matters more than logic. This is why gentle listening works. The voice continues. The rhythm remains unchanged. The brain stops scanning for surprise. It stops preparing for interruption. Imagination slows. Images become vague. This vagueness is important. Clear images stimulate. Blurred images soothe. As imagination softens, the brain interprets this as the absence of threat. When there is no clear picture to react to, the nervous system rests. This is why dreams begin. As sleep approaches, dreams are imagination without consequence. The brain practices scenarios in a safe space. But before dreams appear, there is a quiet stage, a place where imagination dissolves into feeling, not images, not words, just tone. And tone matters more than content. A calm tone signals safety. Even when words are not followed, tone reaches deeper systems. This is why a gentle voice can calm an infant. Why soft sounds lower heart rate. The brain does not analyze tone, it absorbs it. Right now, tone is doing the work. Meaning is drifting. Words matter less. Cadence matters more. The brain is no longer trying to understand. It is listening for reassurance. And reassurance is present. The imagination no longer creates scenes. It creates atmosphere. Atmosphere is what the nervous system trusts. This atmosphere is quiet, wide, unhurried. The body interprets this as a place to rest. This is why imagined safety works so well. The brain does not need evidence. It needs consistency. Safe signals repeated over time override earlier alarms. The nervous system recalibrates. It lowers its baseline. What once caused alertness now passes unnoticed. This change does not happen through effort. It happens through exposure. Extended exposure to calm rewrites expectations. Right now, your brain is being exposed to uninterrupted safety. No sudden sounds, no demands, no evaluation. This exposure is powerful. The imagination responds by letting go. It stops projecting futures. It stops replaying pasts because there is no pressure to do otherwise. The mind floats between images and emptiness. This floating is where sleep begins. Not in darkness, but in neutrality. The brain does not fall asleep all at once. It transitions. Imagination thins. Thoughts fragment. Sensations lose boundaries. Reality becomes less solid. This is not confusion. It is reorganization. the brain is shifting from outer focus to inner maintenance. Systems begin to synchronize. Heart and breath align. Brain waves slow. Imagination fades into feeling. Feeling fades into nothing in particular. The body recognizes this pattern. It has done this every night of your life. You do not need to guide it. You cannot speed it up. You can only avoid interrupting it. And right now, there is no interruption. The imagination is quiet enough to stop activating survival circuits. No danger images, no urgent scenarios, just open space. This space is interpreted as safety, and safety allows gravity to return. The body feels heavier, or looser, or distant. This is the sensation of landing, like a plane descending through clouds. No sudden drop, just a gradual return to ground. Thoughts may still appear, but they have less force, less color, less authority. They drift by without pulling attention, because imagination no longer demands belief. The brain has shifted priorities. Rest is now more important than prediction. When rest becomes priority, the imagination disengages. It has done its job. It steps aside. Sleep takes over, not as an event, but as a continuation. Nothing dramatic happens. Awareness simply loosens until it cannot hold on. This is not loss. It is release, and release is safe. The nervous system knows this. It has practiced this transition thousands of times. All it needs is permission, and permission is present. The voice does not pull. The silence does not push. Everything moves at the body's pace. Imagination fades. Reality fades. Only rest remains. And rest is where the body repairs, the brain reorganizes, and tomorrow quietly prepares itself. There is nothing more to follow, nothing more to notice. The mind can drift, the body can settle. Sleep is not arriving, it is already unfolding, and you do not need to be here to witness it. As imagination fades and the sense of effort dissolves, something steady remains. The body, not as an object to control, but as a system that already knows how to balance itself. For a long time, we believed that many bodily processes were completely automatic. Heart rate, blood flow, temperature, muscle tension, things that simply happened without choice. But the body is more flexible than that. It listens, not to commands, but to patterns. Biofeedback revealed this gently, not as a trick, but as a discovery. When the body receives clear information about its own state, it begins to adjust, not consciously, naturally. This is how learning works inside the nervous system. It does not need language. It does not need understanding. It responds to signals. Right now, your body is receiving signals. Slow rhythm, even tone, unbroken calm. These signals tell the nervous system that regulation is possible, that nothing urgent is required. When this message repeats, the body begins to fine-tune itself. Blood vessels open slightly. Warmth spreads. The hands and feet often respond first. Not because you asked them to, but because circulation adjusts. When threat is absent, warmth is a sign. It means the body is no longer prioritizing defense. Heart rate follows, not dramatically, just a few beats slower, enough to matter, enough to shift chemistry. This slowing is not forced. It is allowed. The heart responds to context. When the context feels safe, the heart rests. Breathing and heart rate begin to coordinate. This coordination is called coherence. It feels like ease, not excitement, not sedation, just steadiness. The nervous system prefers steadiness. It uses less energy, creates less noise. Biofeedback showed that when people observe these changes, the changes deepen. Not because observation controls them, but because attention confirms safety. Right now, you are not observing deliberately, and that is even better. The body adjusts, without being watched, without pressure, without expectation. This allows deeper regulation. Muscle tone reduces. Tiny, unnecessary contractions release. The jaw loosens. The shoulders sink. The nervous system lets go of effort it forgot it was holding. This is learning, not intellectual learning, physiological learning. The body is updating its default settings. It is learning that stillness does not require vigilance, that quiet does not mean danger, that nothing bad follows relaxation. These lessons are powerful. They reshape future responses. Tomorrow, or days from now, the body may relax more quickly, in response to subtle cues, not because you remember this moment, but because the nervous system does. It remembers patterns. Extended calm teaches it what to expect. Biofeedback experiments often begin with simple discoveries. People learn they can warm their hands, slow their heart, reduce muscle tension. At first, this feels surprising. Later, it feels obvious, because the body was always capable. It just needed permission. Right now, permission is everywhere. There is no task, no evaluation, no demand. The body senses this and takes initiative. It adjusts temperature, balances hormones, shifts blood flow, all without instruction. This is why deep rest is so restorative. It allows self-regulation to occur uninterrupted. The body is very good at healing. When left alone, the nervous system is designed to return to balance. Stress interrupts this process, not because stress is bad, but because it signals priority elsewhere. Right now, there is no priority elsewhere, so repair resumes. Cells receive clearer signals. Inflammatory processes quiet. Growth and repair hormones increase. This is not felt directly. It is quiet work, like maintenance, performed overnight. The body does not announce it. It simply does it. You may feel a sense of heaviness now, or lightness, or neutrality. All are signs that regulation is happening. The sense of control has faded, and in its absence, the body is free to lead. This reversal is important. The nervous system prefers to regulate itself. Interference slows it down. Silence accelerates it. Right now, nothing is interfering. The voice continues softly. The space remains open. The body listens and responds. This is the same process that allows biofeedback training to work over time. The body learns that calm is reachable. That regulation is not fragile. That balance is not rare. It becomes familiar, and familiarity reduces fear. Fear keeps systems tight. Familiarity lets them open. Right now, the body is becoming familiar with ease, with slowness, with the absence of demand. This familiarity will remain. It does not disappear. When you wake, it becomes part of the nervous system's memory. The systems once called automatic were never rigid. They were adaptive. They respond to the environment. And this environment is gentle. The body is responding accordingly. You do not need to notice specific changes. Noticing can pull attention back. Let the process remain anonymous. Invisible. The best regulation happens quietly, without witnesses, without commentary. Just allow the body to continue its own work. Sleep may deepen now, or awareness may float. Either way, the learning continues. Regulation does not require consciousness. It happens best when consciousness steps aside. The nervous system has taken the lead. You can rest. Everything else is being handled. There is nothing more to guide, nothing more to explain. The body is already doing what it knows how to do. And it does not need help. It only needed this space, this time, this uninterrupted calm. Let it continue. Let sleep finish the lesson. The body will remember how to return here again. As the body continues to regulate itself, without effort, without instruction, another quiet process is still unfolding. The brain is practicing, not by doing, but by imagining. Long before the body moves, the brain moves first. Every action begins as a pattern of activity inside the nervous system. This is why mental rehearsal works. Not because imagination is powerful, but because the brain treats patterns seriously. When a pattern repeats, the brain strengthens it. It does not ask whether the movement happened physically, it only asks whether the pattern occurred. This is why athletes improve through visualization, why musicians practice in their mind, why a thought can prepare the body. The brain does not wait for muscles to move. It builds pathways in advance. But mental rehearsal does not require vivid images. It does not require focus. It happens automatically. Right now, the brain is rehearsing rest. It is strengthening pathways associated with calm, with ease, with low effort. This is not passive. It is training. Training the brain to return here more easily next time. Neural circuits follow familiarity. The more often a state is visited, the easier it becomes to access. This is true for stress, and it is true for calm. Right now, calm is being rehearsed. Without intention, without instruction, the brain is noting, this state exists, and it is safe. That is enough. Mental rehearsal works, even when awareness fades. Even during sleep, during rest, the brain replays patterns from the day. What repeats gets reinforced. Tonight, the pattern being repeated is gentleness, slowness, non-reactivity. This rehearsal reshapes future responses. Tomorrow or another day, when tension appears, the brain will remember this alternative. It will recognize that it does not need to escalate immediately. This memory is not conscious. It does not appear as a thought. It appears as a pause, a moment of space before reaction. That pause is the result of practice. Practice that required no effort at all. This is why rest is not wasted time. It is preparation. The brain trains best when it is not overloaded, when attention is soft, when the nervous system is calm. Under these conditions, learning integrates deeply. No resistance, no friction. Right now, there is no goal, and without a goal, the brain relaxes, but it does not stop working. It simply changes its task, from problem solving to integration, from prediction to consolidation. This is when mental rehearsal becomes most effective, not as imagery, but as tone, as rhythm, as atmosphere. The brain rehearses the feeling of safety, the sense of being held, the absence of urgency. These are not abstract. They are physiological states, and the brain stores them as reference points. You may feel as though nothing is happening. That is often the sign that the deepest work is occurring. The brain is quiet because it is focused inward, strengthening networks that require stillness. The body supports this. Breathing remains slow, heart rate steady, muscles relaxed. The brain reads these signals and reinforces the pattern. It links calm with awareness, awareness with safety. This link is important. Many people only feel safe when distracted or asleep. Here, safety is paired with gentle awareness. This pairing changes things. It teaches the brain that wakefulness does not require tension, that being present does not require control. This lesson is subtle, but it carries forward. Mental rehearsal does not announce completion. It accumulates. Each moment of rest adds another layer, another repetition, another reinforcement. The brain does not get tired of this kind of practice. It welcomes it. There is no strain, no performance, just familiarity growing. You might drift now into light sleep. Thoughts fragment. Images appear and fade. This is mental rehearsal, continuing without supervision. The brain is practicing transitions between waking and sleeping, between activity and rest. These transitions matter. They determine how smoothly sleep arrives. And right now, the transition is smooth. No sharp edges, no sudden shifts, just gradual descent. This descent is also practice. It teaches the nervous system that letting go is safe, that nothing bad happens. When control is released, this learning will remain. It does not require memory. It becomes part of how the system responds. Rest is no longer an interruption. It is preparation for healing, for resilience, for tomorrow. You do not need to finish this. You do not need to stay awake. The brain will continue rehearsing on its own, even as sleep deepens, even as awareness disappears. This is not lost time. This is training without effort, practice without pressure, learning without strain. The brain is doing what it does best, adapting, preparing, quietly, and you are already where you need to be. Nothing else is required. Let rest complete the rehearsal. Let sleep carry it forward. The work is already done. As rest continues, and the brain rehearses calm, without effort, another layer of understanding begins to soften. Pain is not always a message from the body. Often, it is a message from the brain about what it believes the body should feel like. Inside the brain, there is a map, not a picture, but a living pattern. A map of where the body is, how large it feels, how safe it is. This map is created slowly, through years of movement, sensation, and touch. And once formed, the brain trusts it deeply. Sometimes, the map becomes outdated. The body changes, but the map does not update right away. And when there is a mismatch, the brain becomes confused. This confusion can feel like pain. One of the clearest examples is phantom limb pain. When a limb is lost, the body is changed instantly, but the brain's map remains. The limb is still there. In the nervous system, signals still travel along old pathways. The brain expects feedback that never arrives. This absence is alarming, and the brain interprets it as pain, not because tissue is damaged, but because prediction fails. Pain, in this case, is the brain asking a question it cannot answer. Where is the body? Why does my map not match reality? This shows something important. Pain does not always mean harm. Sometimes it means uncertainty. The brain dislikes uncertainty. It prefers clear, stable patterns. When the map feels unstable, the brain increases sensation to demand attention. Pain is attention, a request for update. Mirror therapy revealed this gently. By showing the brain a reflection of a healthy limb, the map begins to change. The brain sees movement, receives expected feedback. The conflict resolves, and pain fades. Nothing changed in the body. The change happened in the map. This principle extends far beyond phantom limbs. Many chronic pains persist. Long after tissue has healed, the body is safe. But the map still predicts danger. The brain keeps amplifying sensation because it has not received enough evidence to update. Updating takes time. It requires repeated signals of safety, not force, not argument, just consistency. Right now, the brain is receiving gentle, consistent signals. The body is still. Breathing is calm. There is no sudden movement, no sharp sensation. This tells the brain The body is here. It is intact. It is not under threat. These signals help update the map slowly, quietly. The brain does not announce. When it updates, it simply reduces output. Pain volume lowers. Tension softens. Sensation becomes neutral. You may notice areas of the body that once demanded attention now feel distant, not numb, just less important. This is the map adjusting. When attention is not constantly pulled to a sensation, the brain assumes stability. Stability leads to trust. Trust leads to reduced protection. Pain is protective. When protection is no longer needed, pain retreats. This retreat is gradual, like fog thinning at dawn. No sudden disappearance, just less density. The edges blur. The center softens. The body feels more whole, more continuous, less segmented. This sense of wholeness is the updated map. It does not require perfect accuracy. It requires coherence. Right now, the body feels coherent. Breath, weight, warmth, they align. This alignment reassures the brain. The map begins to feel reliable again. And when the map feels reliable, the brain stops shouting. It stops sending urgent signals. It lowers the alarm. Pain does not need to be fought. It needs to be understood as information, often outdated information. The brain is not stubborn. It is cautious. It updates when it feels safe to do so. Safety is not proven through effort. It is sensed through stillness, through repetition, through the absence of surprise. This is why long, uninterrupted rest is so effective. It gives the brain time to check its assumptions, to compare prediction with reality, to notice that nothing bad happens when the body is at ease. Each quiet moment adds evidence that the map can be redrawn. The body you feel now may be different from the body you remember, lighter, heavier, less defined. These changes are not imagined. They are the map becoming flexible. A rigid map causes pain. A flexible map adapts. Right now, flexibility is increasing. The brain is not locking sensation to exact locations. Boundaries soften. The body becomes a field rather than a collection of parts. This reduces conflict. Conflict creates pain. Coherence dissolves it. You do not need to visualize anything. You do not need to correct the map. The brain updates automatically. When given calm input, the steady voice, the even rhythm, the lack of urgency, all of this says, nothing needs protection right now. The brain listens. It always has. You may feel a sense of neutrality, neither pleasure nor discomfort, just presence. This neutral state is deeply informative. It tells the brain that sensation does not require reaction. That awareness can exist without defense. This lesson changes future perception. Over time, the brain learns to interpret signals more accurately, less catastrophically. Pain becomes quieter, not because it was ignored, but because it was no longer needed. The body map updates in layers. Some layers change quickly, others take longer. There is no deadline. The brain works at its own pace. Right now, it has time. Nothing is interrupting. Nothing is pulling attention away. This allows deeper recalibration. Even as sleep approaches, this process continues. During sleep, the brain integrates sensory information. It refines its internal models. It smooths inconsistencies. Sleep is one of the most powerful map-updating states, and you are close to it now. The body feels safe enough to let go. The brain feels safe enough to change. Pain, when it remains, no longer feels urgent. It becomes background, like a memory rather than a signal. This is progress, quiet progress, unnoticed progress, the kind that lasts. There is nothing more to explain, Nothing to fix. The map is already adjusting. The nervous system is already learning. You can allow awareness to drift further now. The details no longer matter. The body knows where it is. The brain knows it is safe. And when the map is calm, the system rests. Sleep can take over. And in sleep, the final updates are made. Gently, silently, without effort. You do not need to stay with this. The brain will continue on its own. And when you wake, the map will feel just a little more settled, a little more accurate, a little less demanding. That is enough. Let rest complete the update. Let sleep hold the body, while the brain redraws its quiet lines. Everything is already moving in the right direction. As the body map continues to update, and the brain feels less need to protect, a deeper layer of healing becomes possible. This layer is not about pain. It is about time. Stress is not just a feeling. It is a biological state that leaves traces. When stress is short, the brain adapts easily. But when stress lasts too long, the brain begins to change its shape. Not suddenly, not dramatically, slowly, quietly. One of the regions most affected is the hippocampus. The hippocampus sits deep in the brain. It helps form memories. It helps place experiences in time. It helps the brain understand that danger has passed. Under long-term stress, the hippocampus receives a constant bath of cortisol. Cortisol is not bad. It is useful. It mobilizes energy, sharpens attention. But when cortisol remains high for too long, it changes how neurons grow. Connections shrink. New neurons form more slowly. The hippocampus becomes less flexible. This does not mean damage in the dramatic sense. It means adaptation to a hostile environment. The brain reallocates resources. It favors survival over reflection, reaction over memory, urgency over context. This is why long-term stress can make time feel distorted, why everything feels immediate, why rest feels unsafe. The brain has learned that there is no pause. But the brain is not rigid. It is responsive. What stress can change, rest can also change. This is the other side that often goes unnoticed. The same plasticity that allows stress to shrink connections, allows calm to rebuild them. The hippocampus can recover. Neurons can grow again. Connections can strengthen, but only under certain conditions. Safety, repetition, time. Right now, those conditions are present. The nervous system is not preparing. It is not scanning. It is not reacting. This gives cortisol a chance to fall. Not instantly, gradually. As cortisol lowers, the environment inside the brain changes. Growth signals return. Repair processes resume. The hippocampus responds to this quickly. It is one of the most plastic regions in the adult brain. It listens closely to the body's state. When the body feels safe, the hippocampus begins to rebuild context. It starts reminding the brain, this moment is different. This moment is not urgent. This moment does not require defense. These messages soften perception. Memories feel less sharp. Worries feel less convincing. The future feels less heavy. This is not because problems vanished. It is because the brain regained perspective. Perspective is a hippocampal function. Without it, everything feels like now. With it, time stretches again. You can feel this happening. As awareness drifts, thoughts lose their timeline. They do not point urgently forward or backward. They float. This floating is not emptiness. It is temporal flexibility returning. The brain is remembering that not everything happens at once, that not everything must be solved. That rest exists. This remembering is biological. Neurons respond to rhythm, to stillness, to the absence of threat, the steady tone, the slow pace, the lack of interruption. All of this tells the hippocampus that growth is allowed, That energy can be used for repair rather than defense. This is why rest is healing, not metaphorically. Physiologically, during deep rest, the brain reallocates resources. Blood flow shifts. Neurotrophic factors increase. Inflammatory signals decrease. The environment becomes supportive again. The brain does not heal through force. It heals through permission. Permission to slow. Permission to pause. Permission to not respond. Right now, nothing is being asked of you. This is important. The absence of demand is what allows recovery. The hippocampus needs time without pressure. It rebuilds slowly, like a forest after a fire. Not all at once, but steadily, quietly. Each night of rest adds a small layer. Each calm moment adds another. You may not notice the change. The brain rarely announces healing, but over time, you may feel more space between thought and reaction, more distance between memory and emotion, more patience with yourself. These are signs that the hippocampus is working again, that context has returned, that stress no longer defines the environment. Right now, you are giving the brain what it needs most, not stimulation, not insight, but safety over time. This is why long recordings help. The length itself teaches the nervous system that nothing sudden will happen, that there is no deadline, that the environment is stable. Stability is medicine for the stressed brain. The hippocampus trusts stability. It grows in it. As sleep approaches, this process deepens. During sleep, cortisol reaches its lowest levels. Growth processes peak. Memory integration occurs. The brain repairs. What stress disrupted? Sleep is not collapse. It is construction. And you are near that state now. Thoughts are sparse. Sensations are muted. Time feels wide. This widening is the hippocampus reclaiming space. The brain is no longer collapsed around urgency. It is expanding again. This expansion is gentle. It does not rush. It unfolds. You do not need to witness it. You do not need to stay present. The process does not require awareness. It continues even when you are gone. Rest is not something you do. It is something that happens when resistance fades. And resistance has already softened. The nervous system feels it. The brain feels it. There is nothing more to understand, nothing to process, nothing to remember. The work is happening below language, below thought, below effort. Long-term stress changed the brain because it lasted. Long-term rest changes it back the same way, through duration, through consistency, through gentleness. You are already participating, simply by being here, simply by allowing this moment to remain unfinished. Sleep can arrive now, without interruption, and as it does, the brain will continue its quiet repair. The hippocampus will continue to reshape itself. Perspective will continue to widen. Tomorrow will not feel the same as yesterday, not because life changed, but because the brain did. And that change began here, in this slow, unremarkable moment of rest. Let sleep complete what rest has begun. There is no rush. There never was. The brain knows how to heal when given time, and time is exactly what you have now. As rest deepens its work, and the brain continues repairing itself quietly, something even more fundamental begins to soften. Not a symptom, not a thought, not even a feeling, but the sense of reality itself. We often imagine reality as solid, stable, defined, something we stand inside of. But the brain never experiences reality directly. It experiences signals: light, sound, pressure, temperature, internal chemistry. From these fragments, the brain builds a moment, and then another, and another, each moment replacing the last. So reality is not a structure, it is a stream, always updating, always dissolving, always reforming. The feeling that things are fixed comes from attention holding them in place. Attention acts like a hand. When it grips tightly, experience feels solid. When it loosens, experience begins to move again. Right now, attention is loosening. Not because you are doing something, but because effort has faded. Thoughts do not link together as strongly. Sensations no longer demand interpretation. The brain is no longer stitching moments into a tight narrative. This is what flow feels like. Perception without ownership. Experience without commentary. Reality without edges. Neuroscience sometimes calls this de-reification. The brain stops treating its constructions as concrete objects. Thoughts feel like passing events. Sensations feel like weather. The sense of me becomes lighter, less central, less defined. This is not losing awareness. It is awareness without tension. The default mode network, which normally maintains the story of self, begins to quiet. Not shut down, just soften. Its activity becomes less synchronized. The narrative voice fades into the background. Without a narrator, experience becomes simple. Sound is just sound. Darkness is just darkness. Breath is just movement. There is no need to hold any of it, because nothing is staying anyway. Every sensation is already leaving as soon as it arrives. The brain knows this. It only forgets when it tries to control. Now, control is no longer necessary. The hippocampus has restored context. The nervous system feels safe. The cortex no longer needs to monitor, so perception is allowed to drift. This drifting can feel unfamiliar. The mind may try, briefly, to re-grasp something, a thought, a memory, a question, but even that effort feels heavy now, and it dissolves on its own, like trying to hold water with open fingers. This is not a problem to solve. This is the natural state, beneath effort, reality moving, without needing to be stabilized. You may notice time behaving strangely. Moments feel longer, or shorter, or not clearly separated. This is because time, as experienced, is also constructed. It depends on memory, prediction, and attention. When attention relaxes, time loses its ruler. It becomes more like a tide than a line. The brain stops counting. There is no reason to. Nothing is being waited for. Nothing is approaching. Nothing needs to end. This is why sleep can arrive now, without announcement. Sleep does not require a boundary. It is not a switch. It is a gradient. Awareness simply thins. Like mist, perception becomes quieter, not because it stops, but because nothing is emphasizing it. No part of experience is more important than another. Without importance, there is no anchor. Without an anchor, everything floats. This floating is safe. The brain recognizes it from early development, from moments before language, from states where there was no separation between observer and observed. These states are not exotic. They are familiar. They are remembered by the nervous system, which is why there is no fear now, only a gentle absence of urgency. Reality continues to flow, but you no longer need to track it. You no longer need to witness it. The brain can remain awake without you. The body can rest. Without instruction, breath will continue. Heartbeat will continue. Neural rhythms will shift into slower patterns. Theta waves, delta waves, wide, rolling signals that carry no content, only rest, only continuity, only depth. You do not fall asleep. Sleep arrives when holding stops, and holding has already softened. There is nothing left to manage, nothing left to observe carefully, nothing left to understand. Understanding belongs to waking. This moment belongs to release. Perception becomes like a slow river, not moving fast, not moving slow, just moving. And you are no longer standing beside it. You are not inside it either. There is no position now, just motion, without reference. If a thought appears, it is already fading. If a sensation appears, it blends into the background. Nothing lingers long enough to require response. This is the mind remembering how to be at rest, not by shutting down, but by letting go of form. Reality does not need to be held together. It holds itself. Experience does not need a witness. It unfolds on its own, and you do not need to stay here. You do not need to follow the words. You do not need to remain aware of sound. The brain will continue listening, even after you are gone. The body will continue resting, even deeper. The flow will continue without interruption. This is not an ending. It is a continuation without effort. Just as stress reshaped the brain, through persistence, rest reshapes perception. Through surrender, and surrender is already happening. There is nothing to signal, nothing to confirm, nothing to complete. Only the quiet movement from wakefulness into sleep. Slow, deep, unremarkable, like drifting out of a current and into still water. You can let go now, not actively, not deliberately, just by not holding anymore. Reality will keep flowing, and you do not need to go with it. You can rest beneath it, where nothing needs attention, where nothing needs meaning, where sleep is already waiting. Let it take over, gently, naturally, without you noticing. The exact moment it happens. If this gentle journey helped your mind slow down, you can support the channel by subscribing and returning whenever you need rest. May your thoughts soften, your body feel safe, and your sleep come quietly and deep. Good night.